Read all about it. Read all about it. It's looking like Snow White and the Evil Queen, starring Brett Cooper, that was supposed to be released by the sister company to Daily Wire, Bentkey, well, is not coming out anymore. Reports all across X/Twitter say there's no more Brett Cooper and Snow White on the way. Hello, folks, and welcome back. Yes, you have made it through a very newsworthy day today, and we're continuing to make news as we speak. Folks, welcome back. We hope you're having a great day today. Click that like button. And one reason to click the like button is because, well, we like it when Paulie from the Latino Slant is able to stop by. Paulie, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Happy New Year, New Year's, everybody. Thank you for the invite.
Well, thank you, and prospero año to you as well. Folks, let's start here. It is from Deadline, and it is not a new article, but we need to figure out what it is we're talking about, and that is, well, the Daily Wire may have canceled the Snow White and the Evil Queen movie. We'll talk about it in just a moment. This is the original press release from Andreas Wiseman. It says the Daily Wire is making a live-action Snow White movie starring conservative YouTuber Brett Cooper. Watch the teaser. Now, we should also say that this article was not simply put out by Deadline, but also was retweeted by Jeremy Boring, who is part owner of Daily Wire, seemingly to give this credence and gravitas. It says conservative media company Daily Wire is making its own live-action adaptation of the Brothers Grimm fairy tale Snow White called Snow White and the Evil Queen. The film, which is set to release in 2024, will be the first feature-length production for the company's kids' entertainment platform called Bentkey, and will star conservative YouTuber Brett Cooper, host of the platform's show, The Comments Section. Now, of course, we all know that later on, as in just a few weeks ago, Brett Cooper left the Daily Wire to go pursue her own thing, but well, that brings us to a new situation. And it seems to me that money was spent. We'll talk about whether or not this was all just a grift in a moment. Of course, it didn't come out in 2024. That year's over. 2025, here we are. But take a look at the trailer. We'll show you how much money may have been spent on this thing. Here's what they were aiming for.
Once upon a time, in time a prince would come. Once upon a time, but now that time is gone.
All right, so there's the idea, and so some money seems to have been spent on this thing. We thought they were delaying until 2025 so that they could counter-program against Zegler and Disney. Of course, then when Brett Cooper left, we all wondered, what's going to happen with this now? Here's what we're hearing, and then we'll get to what you've said, Paulie. This is from Disney Princess Facts, but it's one of many accounts out there declaring this. It says, apparently Snow White and the Evil Queen by the Daily Wire has been canceled. Brett Cooper, who was supposed to play Snow White, has left the Daily Wire. Now, we've done some digging, Paulie, and I believe this was started by an account that it basically sends out Rachel Zegler news. Now, I don't know if it's legit or not. You said the Daily Wire Snow White movie was never a real thing, and we've got some of our friends out there agreeing with you. And so I just want to get your perspective. Do you think that this was ever something they were spending major money on, or do you think this was all just a parody from the get-go?
I don't know if it's a parody or troll or a grift, right? If they're like poking Disney right, with it. Just because I know that these are real filmmakers. And this gentleman, I think they went on last year, if anything, to shoot Pendragon. And you saw footage of that. That was more, behind the scenes, behind the cameras footage, as opposed to this, this thing. And you can see money spent on that, and that was last April. And then they've released a little bit more footage of that. But that's the same it's the same, creative team, but nothing with Snow White. So the reason why I started thinking about it and just kind of like, breaking it down and was the Zegler news update. Newsflash, guys. There are Rachel Zegler fans.
They exist.
I had to like say that, guys. Hey, you guys do know there's actual accounts, Instagram accounts dedicated to to celebrities, and Rachel Zegler's no different. And so she has a few. So this one was doing an update in regards to Brett Cooper leaving, and there's not really much there. Her leaving, that's a whole different conversation. But I was like, wait a minute, why haven't we got anything from Snow White and the Evil Queen? And then I looked at the trailer again. I'm like, oh, this isn't a trailer. This is if anything, it's a sizzle reel to maybe get investors excited. And it's like, oh, Brett Cooper is going to do Snow White. Cool. But what you just played, that is maybe a day's work altogether. And then you have B-roll footage, probably some that they bought. I would say the song, if anything, took more time to produce and get the sound right. But this is just nothing more than a college level sizzle reel. And those are the things we used to do. And like, you write a script, whether it's a short or let's say it's a feature. And okay, you have this person attached, that person attached. You have letters of intent. Okay, great. Well, put together a sizzle reel with said celebrity, and let me see how it looks. And so I remember doing that with something I wrote like over 20 years ago, man. And I had a Kate Del Castillo as my lead. I mean, this is Queen of the South, and she signed a letter of intent, and we did a very involved trailer like this. But we shot a lot of footage. You have to shoot about 3 to 4 times more footage than what you actually see. And so what I'm seeing here is like, oh, this is nothing. This is just graphics. And as far as Brett Cooper, I mean, she's pretty and all that stuff. I don't know her acting talent, but time spent, maybe a day's work as far as shooting her in a forest. And this is the one long shot. You're going from low to high, and then cue. Turn, and that's it. And she's taking her time with the smile. Beautiful smile. Boom.
Yeah, Paulie, it seems to me like Daily Wire really is not well served even releasing this now. And I know it's Bentkey, but they're parallel companies. They're under the same corporate structure, it appears to me. So with Brett Cooper leaving the enterprise, I mean, you couldn't bring her back now to do press. You couldn't bring her back to do interviews. She can't be part of the promotionals. So, I mean, I guess she could be, but they would make for some seriously awkward interviews where they're like, oh, so you did this movie with him? Why did you leave? So I don't know if they can do anything with this now.
Well, they don't have anything. That's my argument.
Right.
That's my argument, is that they don't have anything. They didn't. If they had filmed something in 23, even a couple of scenes, something, you're going to see footage like a la Batgirl. Then they put away the cut, right? They didn't film anything. This is all they filmed. So what that tells me is they probably did it maybe to lure more money backers. But I don't think they did it just to poke at Disney. If they did, that is a pretty stupid business move, especially when you're trying to build a studio like Angel Studios has done. Tyler Perry has done. It takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of time. So what has been successful this past year for them was the Am I the Racist documentaries. I think that they're moving forward. It's just my opinion that they're better just suited for original documentaries. That's where their success is at. This is a different animal when you're just doing original content, scripts, actors, directors. So, okay. Let's say they filmed it. She's got no control over that. She signed her image, and once she signed a separate contract to be the star in their Snow White project, assuming they did. Her leaving, was it comments?
Yeah, the comment section with Brett Cooper, now the comment section with her maid of honor.
Okay, So once she left there, that has nothing to do with her contract with Snow White. It might be under the same company, but it's a different job.
Right, but
So
it's gonna be awkward if you try to bring her back to do some kind of,
filming the movie.
or anything like that. It's gonna be super awkward to be like, oh, okay, so you left all these people. Tell us why tell us why we should go see the movie made by the people that you decided you didn't want to work with anymore. That's going to be awkward. Now, I will say this, Paulie, as you've said regarding Pendragon, I've talked with sources, and as far as we can tell, that is a legitimate movie. And in fact, my sources have said, series.
TV series.
My sources have said that it is way, way over budget and really expensive. And I kind of wonder if maybe they got into a little bit of a money pit with Pendragon and this fell on the back burner. And now with Brett Cooper gone, there's no way it's going to happen. Yeah. I think there was a point where if you had counter-programmed exactly to Disney, this could have worked. And frankly, we needed maybe Daily Wire to come through with something like this because we needed something that held companies like Disney accountable. But I kind of think like the audience already did that. And we're starting to see Disney begin to come back to the center, right? I'm not advocating that Disney go into a conservative mode. I just want Disney not to be in a hyper left mode. I want Disney to be in sort of the mainstream middle, the sensible center, somewhere that most families can go watch their stuff and walk away and say, yippee, let's go get a Happy Meal toy. And I kind of think that correction is happening. What say you?
I think you're seeing it with the award show season is kind of like the final because they've moved on from a lot of this, lazy DEI vision, lack of vision. Let's just, she's Latin, she can sing, great. They were just the last couple of years checking off the boxes, and we're Latino Slant, but it's like we hold everything accountable. So it's like, great, we have an achievement, okay, with a young star, but you got to be good. And
authenticity, Paulie. That's what I want. I want authenticity from here on out, because the truth is there are people of immense talent and ability of all backgrounds, and I want to have them rise to the top naturally, and I think that's going to happen. But we need to get away from the spreadsheets and the quotas. Right? Yeah. That kind of stuff doesn't produce humanity because it's out of an objective metric instead of out of looking for the amazing heart and talent within the people who are trying to be in these films.
I want to put a pin on that because I want to come back to that. Right, I want to come back to this whole backlash with Emilia Perez winning all these awards. I want to go back to what you said though, in regards to Pendragon and going over budget. No doubt, it's a period piece. It's on location. I mean, that is expensive, and they probably just had an inexperienced, crew, whatever it is. They went over budget. It's not the first time; won't be the last. However, when you do something like what they did in October of 23, which is to announce and show Brett Cooper in the forest, that was their pocket. That thing needed to be filmed, because you imagine now that thing was filmed. It was in the can. It was edited. You got the cuts. You got this and that. It's a year later, and it's coming out. It's maybe it could have been out for the holidays, and maybe it was very good. If anything, then Daily Wire could have put their foot down on family entertainment and say, this is what people want. But that window's gone, because just like you said, now it didn't happen, and then Disney is righting the ships slowly but surely.
Right, and there are different segments of Disney that are doing better and worse on that. And I know a lot of our viewers are going to say Disney will never correct. Don't get your hopes up. And I understand that. I'm just saying that at least in their family content, whether you look at Moana 2 or you look at Inside Out 2 or you look at some of the movies they're bringing out in the next years, it seems to me that they're figuring out that when they're divisive, when they put in stuff that turns away 20, 30% of their audience, it really damages their overall brand, because it can cascade. It can grow way bigger than that. As families simply say, listen, I work hard. all I want to do is take my kid to go see a movie. We want to eat popcorn and I want to go do Happy Meals. I don't want to have that discussion in the car ride home. I'll have that discussion on my own time. But what I'm doing when I take my kid to the movie is this is our family time to regroup as I'm, coming down off of having worked all week. And I just want to have a friendly, fun time with my kid. I'm like the deep conversation time. That's not what I'm paying you for, Disney. We have a misunderstood agreement here, House of Mouse. And so I think that's happening. Paulie, tell me what you're talking about, though, on the award season and some controversies there. What are you?
Yeah, and really fast, I do agree with you. That's why I think Mufasa is doing as well as it is, because as bad as it is, families are going to see it because families are you're never going to not have enough family content. Families are always going to need it, right? Especially during the holidays. So I just kind of
opportunity.
Yeah, you're always that just kind of reinforces your argument there. I totally agree. So we were talking about the controversies with the award season, and what you're seeing is this movie Emilia Perez winning above Wicked, above all these other kind of bigger movies. You can just arguably say better movies, and it is the ultimate Latinx checkbox film. And what is happening, which is one thing, but what is happening is a clear and decisive backlash from Latin America, from Mexico, and from a lot of people here in Hollywood, because they're like, this movie is absolutely offensive on every level and just not good. So then you throw in that it's, you have the trans issue, you have the drug cartels, the stereotypes, but it's winning all the awards. And I've been talking about this for months now. Star Selena Gomez, Zoe Saldana. Hey, everyone's very talented individually, but I'd said this movie is a Hollywood liberal's wet dream, and they're this is not a Latino film, though, right? So they're going to push it like you don't know what. And so
there's been an effort, Paulie, to let me just throw this. There's been a very serious effort, and it continues in Hollywood, where they want to make the Latino community, and I think they've given up on Latinx now, and good for that. But they seem to want to make the Latino community be synonymous with an extremely liberal community. And that seems to me to not be the reality they're faced with. It doesn't seem to me, when I look across the various Latino communities in the United States and beyond, I see communities that they're of all types and all sorts, but there's an not insignificant portion of them that are traditional in their values. And so this effort to make them synonymous with far leftism, as you said, the Hollywood dream that they have, the Hollywood liberal dream.
Sorry for saying that way.
No
Hollywood dream, right.
But that's, it doesn't seem to be based on reality. It's more propagandistic, where they're trying to force this community to be of that sort, and I don't get that.
Well, what it is liberal Hollywood, and you don't have to live in Hollywood it's like a way of thinking, is that I am going to save these people, these brown people that don't know any better. I have the answer. I'm going to save them. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And by doing that, I get to relieve my
inner guilt, my
inner liberal guilt for being white, and this is the perfect vehicle. So just to back that up, we and Rosa Parra, myself and Rosa Parra, went to an early screening of Nosferatu, an Academy screening, which is different than your normal press screening. It was right after Thanksgiving, and it was Academy members, and you had to see this movie because there was a voting deadline, et cetera, et cetera. I started talking to a gentleman sitting next to me, and I pretty sure he recognized, because he started really opening up about what's going on. This guy's been in the business for over 20 years, effects, AI effects, that field. And he's saying that they are ramming Emilia Perez down our throat. They will not stop. They're doing nothing. They're going to make sure that this movie, above all, is going to get the most nominations and win some awards. And that's what you're seeing. And so I'm calling us like the final in the award season, because it's absolutely just it's offensive in that there are other quality films. If you want that criteria of Latino, Spanish, and message movies, there's 5 other ones that came out this year I can think of that are way better than this movie. This is just a poorly executed film at the end of the day. So it might have some good ideas, but no. And then you're seeing it. So, this is the politics are heavy when it comes to award season, my friend.
Well, here's how you know that it's just a farce. Is there anybody on this planet that thinks it's actually a better musical than Wicked? No. Not a single person in the entire audience. And I am sure, Paulie, I am sure beyond sure that somebody went over and whispered to Cynthia Erivo and to Ariana Grande and said, "You're going to lose, but you know why? We're going to give you more awards, okay? But you got to lose on this one, and it's for the cause. It's for the cause, okay?" That's, you know it. I mean, you know it. Nobody in that room ever believed. I gave Wicked like a 9.5 out of 10. Cynthia drives me nuts. She harms her own marketing. But by golly, that was a fantastic musical if you love musicals. And so, well, I think we know what is real and what are the industry decided awards. And there you go. But folks, there will be no awards for Snow White. It doesn't appear. If Paulie is correct, if Snow White and the evil queen is done, well, no chance for it to ever be seen or to receive little trophies, plastic paperweights that carry weight in the industry. Paulie, before we go, tell the folks out there about the Latino Slant and where they can find more of you.
Yeah, it's right there. thelatinoslant.com. Fresh reviews, opinions, and we're continuing to grow. And we have wonderful writers, from early reviews from Nosferatu to Sonic 3. The website, like our YouTube channel, is like 95% in English. So there you go. Come on by.
And Fletch over there does a fantastic job. Yep. Give him our best. Folks, go subscribe to the Latino Slant as fast as you can, if for no other reason than that wonderful Wolverine bucket behind him. Look at that.
That's right there. You got the magic shelf.
All right, folks, click that like button, share, subscribe, click it and stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment right on down below and tell us, are we right? Are we wrong? Will the Daily Wire and Bentkey release Snow White still? Folks, we're no shill here. For either side, we wish you the best. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
This is one big cultural appropriation, don't you think?
What do you mean? We're just celebrating the Year of Medmut.
There's no thing called the Year of Medmut. There's a dog, but not a Medmut. Where did you get this from? Were you reading Time magazine again?
No, but I just figured that since he's so generous, he deserved to be like Star of the Year. The goat, if you will.
No.
We all know goats are hot.
You're just trying to suck up to him to get a membership on our channel, aren't you?
Maybe.
That's so disgusting. I'd say you should be ashamed of yourself, but trying to butter up to him like that... Then again, it is you.
Look, man, butter worked on Jonas.
Putting butter on a second-degree burn isn't a solution. Besides that, there's like another restraining order against you going near anyone in the kitchen. But you know what there isn't a court order for? Subscribing to WDW Pro and bookmarking thatparkplace.com, where John Trent is editor-in-chief, so you can keep ahead of the culture curve and get accurate information, which will also keep you from getting burned by the mainstream media.
So you are saying I did a sick burn?
You're an idiot. Now clean all this up.
Yeah, I'm not cleaning any of this up.